Okay. Hello. I don't know when I'm gonna post this. I don't know when this is gonna be up. If you want to take a deep breath with me, you can take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Hold it and then let it go. So sometimes lately I've been saying I don't know what's gonna come out in the cards, and I didn't know what was gonna come out in the cards. I didn't really guesstimate. And we have the Devil in reverse. Technically, I wasn't using reversals, but it came out in the reverse position. So, if we were to read into that, I actually had someone today. Today was a long day, by the way, but like it was a nice day. It was a cool day. I had somebody ask me how exactly a tarot reading works, and like it made me think and like re-examine like how I look at a reading, and like I've kind of already had the thought process, but it made me put it into words, I guess. It's basically well, we're not gonna get into that, but because what I told him, I was like kind of shocked with what I said. We have the Ten of Coins and the Strength card. Okay, so in the Strength card, usually there's a lion and a woman, but there's this like pig-like creature and this golem thingy. Also, X keeps coming up, the letter X. Okay. Let me focus. If you want to take another breath with me, we can take another breath. 1, 2, 3. And then let it go. I'm going to pull from the Lessons deck, see what comes through, see what wants to reveal itself. We have the Surrender card. I can release my need to control. This might be a situation in your life. This might just be your way of thinking. For some of you, it could be like a job situation, and you're like recognizing more or less the power of like detachment and like not being so attached to an outcome. I'm gonna pull one more card from this deck, and we have the Ace of Discs. Yes, literally, this is about a job or money, like those pentacles, those greens. You might have been spending a little bit too much. That might be a factor. Or you're like scared that you're gonna spend too much. Some of you are gonna resonate with this. I'm totally joking when I say this. I'm not suggesting this. But like the Surrender card is being like, you should totally just give in to your desires and just like impulse buy. But I felt like some of you would think that was a joke, and it is funny on some level, but I'm not suggesting that. But do what you want. You have the Tower and the Lovers. And then the Ten of Swords. This is a situation that keeps coming up. You like the way I said situation? Situation. We have the Tower, we have the Devil in reverse, the Strength, the Lovers. More or less, if we could put it simply, this is a pattern in your life. Also, I'm gonna like take this and like hold on to this. Shout out to Holly for this, by the way. She's awesome. I haven't heard from her in a while, but yeah, there's this energy, there's this cycle that keeps like coming back around, and you might be aware of what it is, you might not be aware of what it is, but I feel like the biggest theme here is about releasing control, because also the Devil in reverse, like without the scary connotation of like the devil The Devil in a Verse is about being freed, like being released from like bondage. Because Upright, this is a card that talks about putting us into bondage and putting us into like shackles. One of my psychosis moments and one of my firm beliefs is that like aliens, to some degree, like foreign creatures, have like taken over our planet through like music and shit. And like maybe this is a little conspiracy woo-woo to some of you. You're gonna be like, what the fuck, what are you talking about? But there's a track by Beyonce. I listened to it in a video where it shows the sample, if I can speak. It shows the sample that song was taken from, and basically the original version of that song like was another artist being like, there's this frequency, and like this entity has like taken over the frequency and like has been like controlling the media through like, you know, porn and shit. And like, conspiracy or not, like that's kind of like a common thing upon like people who consider themselves starseeds and like awakened and shit like that. Labels sometimes confuse things. It doesn't really matter what we call ourselves, but like to some degree it does matter. Anyways, yeah, aliens. I mean, once again, it doesn't really matter what we're calling it, but like an energy has been taking a lot of liberties in your life. We could say it like that. And I feel like if we take the approach that like everything is within us and we are like all connected and like, you know, if you want to take another breath with me, let's take another breath. Because I can feel myself being like restricted. Excuse me for being all jumbled, but like the message that's coming through right now is like about embracing yourself. Because like I was about to talk about shadow work and like, you know, integration of like the ugly parts and all that stuff. I don't know who's watching this in the future or like how many people this will resonate for or any of those numbers, but I hope, how do I say this, because duality is a thing and I've been recognizing duality a lot on this page. The Lover's card is about decisions and choices, and it's also about love and romance and all that gushy shit, but it's also just another card about like major life decisions, like which road do I go on, which like do I go to California and like live with my excuse me, and live with my dream family, or like do I go to Paris and, you know, what are we doing, like what are our options and how are we going about it? One thing that I like to say is that it doesn't really matter what you do, like to some degree it does, sure, but it doesn't really matter what you do as long as you put your all into it and like you are confident in like your ability to like follow through and like do it all. This video.
You're not talking about it.
There's this video. Yeah.
You talking to somebody?
Not in this moment, not in this present moment. If you're listening, I'm talking to you.
Man, shut the hell up.
How are you? You alright?
Right.
Being nosy? Okay. Well, good day to you. Oh. That's cool. Okay, we're not taking those cards. That's not relevant to anything. We do have the Fool card coming out with the Moon card, and the Ten of Swords was already out. God bless. I want to pull from my other. I'm surprised I haven't pulled from that other deck. I really wasn't sure how long this was going to be, and I was intending on only using the one deck. But here we are. I'm going to be unorganized and like show you the behind the scenes. Okay, I'm going to this kitty deck. Okay, so once again, there's this energy. It's kind of like taking a hold of you, and like for some of you, this might be a person that's like influencing you to do certain things. This might be substances, you know, a little drinky drink, or any variety of things. Could be like a food addiction, or like could be a lot of different things. But yeah, because then there's the duality in the surrender card. Because yes, I can release my need to control, but also remembering just how powerful we are and like how capable we are if we put our minds to it. Which is a really cheesy sentiment, but it's very true. We have the Chariot card here at the top of the deck. Look at the little kitty with his little chariot. Right underneath that is the Two of Pentacles. You may or may not have been... Whoa, that is a sentence structure right there. You may or may not have been having trouble with your coin. And part of it, if we look at the Lover's card and the Devil and the Tower, part of it is like unhealthy choices, unhealthy decisions. Maybe we're blinded by a relationship, or we're blinded by like there's something that we're being blinded by. And at the top of the deck we have the Emperor. As I open my eyes. Oh, and then the Tower card comes out again. That's not a good thing. That's not a good omen, but it happens. The Emperor card. There is this message of coming back to self. I'm not using that deck, but there's a card from another deck where it says come back home to self. And it's like major that energy. Also, look at the little kitty on his throne. We also have the... I love how it just fell right there. I don't love how it fell, but like sarcasm. We have the Emperor, and then also the Hermit was at the top of the deck. Yeah, big energy of like come home to self. Like let's check in with ourselves. And like I heard damage control. That's a very specific. We have the Empress, and the Emperor. If you're not in a relationship and you're wanting to be in a relationship, you might be in a relationship soon. It's like there's a possibility, but like once again, I feel like there's a lot of mental work that needs to be done, and it would really be helpful to you and your development if you like took the time to like, you know, journal and like get inside your head in a healthy way. Also, I don't know why I'm so obsessed with this Empress card, because it has the mom cat, and then the little baby kitten. And like usually in the Empress, I mean, because the Empress does represent fertility and womanhood, sure. But usually the Empress is like pregnant in like the remixed versions of this card. But it's like, nah, I got my kid out here with me in the field, you know? Kind of dangerous, but like we'll be alright. Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands staring at me. which is like a, oh, and an Empress comes out right beneath that. That's lovely. The Knight of Wands, Praying Mantis sort of energy. And then also, once again, the Empress again in this deck. There's also a child in this deck, though. And I feel like my whole point about this is like kind of mute. I got both of these decks at the same time. And I really actually prefer this deck because the imagery is consistent, like there's artwork everywhere. Versus this beautiful design, beautifully simple design that is kind of like annoying to count. Because then mentally I always have to count it. Like, sure, like this one is X, and I know X is 10, but like Roman numerals messes me up, man. This also has Roman numerals, but it's not as much of an eyesore, I think. Anyways, I'm sorry. I don't mean to bash these cards. These cards are awesome. Okay, so there's a lot of creativity. There's a lot of fertility within you, whether or not you're a woman. Like birthing, creation. You know, like writing, drawing, whatever it is that you are like putting into the world. And if we could go back to like the beginning of this and how we're making unhealthy choices. The starving artist trope is a trope, but is it a trope that is necessary to live? I'm joking, but like somebody needs to hear that. Four of Swords at the top of the deck. You might be wanting a rest. You might be wanting to like take a pause on life, and I would definitely urge you to do that. Like, if that's what you feel called to do. It might not necessarily make sense to the people around you. It might not be the most, what's the word, conventional. But if that's what your soul desires, you know, go for it. Take a 17-year nap. JK. I'm kidding. I'm not suggesting you go into a coma. Whoa. But no, seriously. I have said it at some points. I've been like, I wish I could take a nap for 7 days, and I have to be careful when I say stuff like that, because words are powerful. Because then I'll get sick, and then I'll have to force myself to rest. You know, it's these are things that have happened. Unrequited love. That's an unexpected turn. We have Medicine Man or Woman. I feel like this is a past person, and I'm not just saying that because this is a past life deck, but I feel like this is a past person who was really in tune, was really they might have been a herbalist, they knew a lot about plants and whatnot, or they could have been a 420 enthusiast, but either way, there's this disconnect within this relationship that kind of makes things feel unrequited to some degree. Try not to get too serious because this is serious energy. Yeah. Oh my goodness, this person was very karmic, and it was an interesting relationship. It is an interesting relationship. If you were to write it down on paper and the dynamics of it, it's interesting. This person, either you, this person, or both of you, are people who are very in tune, very jiggy with the elements and all that. But the relationship was very, in some ways toxic, in some ways karmic, in some ways very tumultuous. And if I were to guesstimate, if I were to like intuit, this relationship is no longer, and there's some lingering feelings about it. Now, see the energies how they see fit, because I just thought about something I have to do later. Because Medicine Man, Monk or Nun, and then also that other card that came out, like all of that coming out together is like, whoever this energy is, they're very like enlightened, if you will. Like they have an aura about them, to whatever degree. And it's the one that got away, basically, which is really cheesy, and like can't relate to desperation. But no, joking, just joking. Also, Sabrina been hitting lately. Like, I'm happy for her. If this is what she wants, like the attention. Like literally the last few hours, like the lyrics from her song have been in my ear. I'm working late 'cause I'm a singer. Oh, he looks so cute, wrapped around my finger. Too bad your ex don't do it for you. Walked in and dream came true, did it for you. Sorry, no, not sorry, 'cause why am I apologizing? I feel like someone is really sorry for this connection and the way that it ended. For sure. And like one thing that I've been like urged to lately is the idea of being present. Like just being here now, like in the moment with whatever you're doing, whether you're making a cup of coffee, whether you're driving across the highway, whether you're talking to your kid, just being completely there, like nothing else. You know, it can be a hard thing for some people to like master, but it is like a really, really great thing to do. That being said, yeah, I'm hearing choices and consequences. To go back to that, like it's like we made our choices, we did our things, and like living in the past and like regretting and being like, I should have done better, is wasted energy. I mean, like at least for a couple thoughts you can think that, but like after a while, like, you gotta move forward. You gotta like accept it for what it is. Like acceptance is a very important part of the process, any process, you know. So there's a message right there. And with that, I'm gonna like close this out. I'm gonna wish you well. Hope this was useful. Hope this was helpful. If you want to book with me one-on-one, you can check that out somewhere down below. I actually haven't been putting my link tree, I realize, so I have to fix that. If you want to check me out, check out my link tree, and hope you have a nice rest of your day. Bye.